And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. This is not Friday's Who Would Win. This is Thursday's Who Would Win. Why? Because this is a birthday Who Would Win for, and I want to see if I can pronounce your name right. It's not very hard. It's basically just spelled Okachaha. Easy spelling. But the question is, how do I pronounce that? I want to say Okakaha. If I'm mispronouncing your name, I very much apologize, dude. But you asked the question, who will win in a fight? Pennywise the Dancing Clown, Pennywise the Dancing Clown, versus SCP-2006. Okay, we've done Pennywise to death on this channel. Pennywise is basically a species of being known as a glimmer. He comes from the Macroverse, outside of our own universe. Well, they do. Technically, Pennywise is a she, but takes the form of a dude, so we'll just say he for here right now. Now, a portion of Pennywise landed in Derry, Maine, and that's the portion we see, or the little extension of it. Pennywise is, in essence, a form of eldritch horror in the Stephen King universe. Its real form is believed to be the deadlights that exist inside of it. These deadlights, sane and normal humans can't look at them, otherwise they'll either die or go crazy. Again, eldritch horror-esque. Pennywise itself, though, usually takes the form of Pennywise the Dancing Clown. It is a shapeshifter, meaning it can take whatever form it wants. It just likes the clown the most. It can key in on your specific fears, literally read your mind and know them. Transform, use it against you, cast illusions. It has enhanced physicality. It has enhanced durability. It's capable of just kind of teleporting around if it really wants to. Pennywise is a dangerous individual. Nowhere near infallible. A group of kids beat it, for God's sake, but still. And I'm skimming over because we've done Pennywise God knows how many times in this channel. I know this guy in my sleep at this point. SCP-2006 is very interesting. Why? Because, in essence, it is also a shapeshifter like Pennywise. It is also a being that uses fear. But it normally kind of takes the form of this, a stupid B-movie 50s monster. Why? Because its goal is to want to scare people. It tries to turn into the thing that scares people. Well, you might be asking, what's the big deal about that? The SCP Foundation consider this a Cater class individual. Now, I believe it goes safe. Euclid, I believe it's pronounced. And then Cater. Cater's like the most difficult one to contain. Because now I can't remember exactly why and it also speaks to the danger level of the individual as well. It's a combination of both the level of danger this thing presents and a level of difficulty in containing it. Now, with that being said, why is this thing so dangerous? Well, and why do they just keep showing it B movies? Well, the fact is that this thing actually is very jovial and fun, and it's actually very courteous after it tries to scare you. They have to pretend to be scared by it every time it tries something new. The reason for that is if this thing got out into the real world, it's a shapeshifter. It can take on any form it wants, and figured out what people are really afraid of. And examples they give, like famine, the Holocaust, war, disease, psychopaths, pedophiles, right? Like, it could theoretically, it could turn into a nuclear holocaust if it found out people were afraid of that. Hypothetically, they're just not 100% sure. They don't want to take that risk. That's why they're not 100% sure. That's why this thing is so dangerous, because its reasons for scaring people are still to this day unknown. But they don't want to take the chance of it finding what truly scares us. So in a battle between the fear shapeshifters, who comes out on top? Right out the gate, the deadlights are a no-go for Pennywise. This thing is not a normal human. It's not going to work. However, unlike Pennywise, this thing does not have a clear way. It doesn't have telepathy. It doesn't have the ability to just know what you're afraid of. Unlike Pennywise, who does. So, but at the same time, Pennywise is going to look at this thing and go, what the hell is this thing? This isn't human. And my deadlights aren't affecting it. And so this is going to be a weird type of stalemate, I think. Because Pennywise would probably just try to scare it. It wasn't going to work. This guy's going to be like, Now, the one thing that could work in 2006's favor is Pennywise, unlike the SCP Foundation, would not be placating to it. It would not be pretending to be scared to make sure it gets appeased. The question then becomes, what happens if you're not pretending to be scared? Well, to be complete, to describe this thing in its entirety, it's an anomalous spherical entity roughly 15 centimeters in diameter when it's in its default state. Its stated goal is to cause feelings of fear and horror in as many people as possible. To accomplish this purpose, it possesses the ability to change shape, mass, volume, density, chemical structure, and voice in any form it desires. Currently, there's no known way to damage this thing. The extent of its shape-shifting capabilities are unknown, and it's currently thought to be unlimited. It's demonstrated a fondness for taking the forms of various entities and villains from various horror and science fiction movies that it has witnessed. Yeah, it's capable of speaking even in its form of different entities. The point is, possibly not being scared would possibly put it in a bit of a more of an aggressive state, though it's never been shown. The problem simply is there's been no clear-cut way to damage this thing yet, at least based on their abilities. And Pennywise, for all of the being's capabilities, actually doesn't have a lot in the way of offense beyond the standard mauling, slicing, clawing kind of stuff. So that means most likely, and like I said, the deadlights are probably not going to work on this thing. So that means that there's really not much Pennywise can do to damage this thing. And eventually, this thing would probably turn into something that would actually scare Pennywise. Maybe if the fact that it's not going down or not being hurt actually starts to freak Pennywise out, it notices this and turns into a more invincible version of itself, and then starts to take shots at Pennywise. Ultimately, while it would be a battle of attrition, and very likely there might not be a winner, they might just eventually just part. If there were to be a winner decided, I'd actually lean towards 6006. I keep saying 6006. 2006, because Pennywise doesn't have anything to really use against this thing. Whereas in the right circumstance, 2006 does have something to use against Pennywise. So I would say it'd either be a draw, or I would give the slight edge to 2006. This is just my opinion, though. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Happy birthday, and I'll see you next time. Later.